I want to get into why speed is not your friend. I think for most people, at least. I mean, unless you're like literally a race car driver or something like that. You know, or you're some sort of athlete or something. But I think for most people, just living normal lives, speed is actually kind of slowing you down. Or this idea of, I would say, especially like overthinking as a form of speed. Overanalyzing, your mind going too fast, things like that. Things we can probably all sort of resonate with. And, we live in this culture where, and I think it's a global thing, where, there's definitely a lot of, we want to watch action movies. We love the idea of speed and all that. But I think, the thing that's interesting is in movies like that, and for race car drivers and things like that, speed is always married with skill at that speed. But we get it, I think, in our heads sometimes that we want to be fast on everything in life. And I mean, down to brass tacks, that we want to be fast cleaning the kitchen. We want to get fast, we want to do everything fast. We want to cook fast. Everything's got to be fast, right? Because we're trying to rush ahead to get to where we need to go. But I actually think that most people would be more successful by slowing down and sort of spending more attention on the details of what they're doing. And to use an analogy here, I took guitar lessons, and I've been playing guitar since I was a kid. But I took guitar lessons when I was a teenager. And one of the things that is taught in guitar lessons is that you got to go slow before you go fast. And I think that's very true for life too. And for any new thing you're trying to do, if you're trying to sort of get out of the rat race or whatever it is you're trying to do with your life, adding new habits, things like that, I think it's important to start slow and to build attention to the details of what you're doing. To start with the details and then let it grow organically. Your skill level will grow organically, right? And sure, maybe here and there you try to push it to see how fast you can go, but you don't do so in a way that's to where you're causing, you're making more mistakes for yourself because you're trying to go faster than your skill level will allow. And I think that's definitely true of particular skills and things like that. But I think it's also true when you're building a business. When you're just trying to get better at being a more organized person and things like that. It takes slowing down and looking at the details, because otherwise you end up making mistakes. So by trying to go fast too soon, you begin causing more mistakes for yourself, and you're actually you think you're going fast, right? And I notice it when I'm driving around town. There's some people who are, they like to jut in and out of traffic, and they're trying to get somewhere, and maybe they're always in a rush, and the reality is that they're actually going slower by trying to go so fast, right? And when you average out that mentality over the course of years, it's car accidents, it's all this other stuff, because that's probably not just that section, right, of their life. That's also other parts of their life. And there's all these mistakes because they're trying to push too fast. And, I'm saying this, being guilty of this myself, definitely. I'm not excluding myself in this. But so what I'm finding for me is, a lot of the solutions to slowing down, and there's definitely a fear of slowing down for me. And I get that. You're afraid you're not going to be able to keep up. You're not going to be able to, pay the bills and all that stuff. But I'm venturing to say that I think the opposite. I think that when you start slowing down, you're actually going to see more success in your life. And finally, the last aspect of this is the tools you use, the tools such as, the mental tools that I haven't really talked about much on this channel yet, but that's definitely where I'm headed. But things like mind mapping and negativity burning, where you write down something negative, what's going on in your life that's negative, you write it all down, you be detailed, and then you go burn it, or you shred it, or whatever you feel comfortable with. But you get sort of that negative stuff out. And then, just journaling, meditation, all of those tools or what they're doing, what you're trying to do ultimately is compress your overthinking, right? And compress the future and the past that you're worried about. You're sort of compressing them into the first part of your day, and sometimes, before you go to bed so you can sleep better. You're compressing them. And you've got your mind to already kind of think through these things in a really efficient manner by doing these things and by making a habit of those type of things. And so when you're going through your day, your mind is slower, right? In a good way, in a healthy way. It's slower. It's seeing things more clearly. And you can kind of just go through your day. And that's why those things are so important. Because they help us slow down our minds. So I definitely think mentally slowing down is your friend. Being fast is not your friend mentally. So that's just what I wanted to get into. I think an overall slowdown, it might be a bit scary for people who've been running all their lives like me. It's definitely been scary for me. But I'm finding that the more I'm slowing down, the more I'm able to really accomplish the things I want to accomplish, and the more enjoyable life is, really. So that's about all I have to say about that. So best wishes to you, and that's the end of this video.